Hi everyone, Red Sea Reefer here, and welcome to the July update of my reef tank. Since the last Focus Friday video was a bit short and a bit late, I thought I'd pop in the July update quickly after that, to give you something to look at. I was having a day off today, so I was playing some Rocket League, and I thought, hey, let's do another update of the tank, since I've just cleaned the sump today, so it's also a good opportunity for me to show you the sump. Again, which I've covered, I think, somewhere earlier this year or late last year. It's always good to see a small update, since there's always progress, always something's changing. So here it is. So let's indeed start off with the sump. If you've seen my previous videos, you might recognize most of the things that are in there. A standard skimmer, which is a little bit larger than absolutely necessary, but still it's good for me because I feed a lot. It's an Vertex Alpha 200. It's a bit somewhat an older skimmer, which still uses a Red Dragon pump, Bubble King Red Dragon pump, external. But it works really well for me, so I've been using it for a while now. I have replaced it with another one before, but that didn't quite work out. So yeah, I'm still happy with it, although it's somewhat older. So as you've seen in my previous videos, I'm using the canisters from Red Sea right here. They're doing well. Just replaced the filter floss, which I will replace every 3-4 days, and the bag with the Roa floss in the other one. Something that I added new are these two blocks, which are made by Maxspect. I'll show you the box in which they come. You can look them up. They're called nanotech bio blocks, and what essentially they do is they act like a form of live rock. So bacteria can attach themselves to it. They say it has a lot of small ceramic beads, particles, which makes it a very good and small alternative to live rock, for example, or other kind of biomedia you can find. I know there's Marine Pure also has one of these blocks. So I've been using it for a few weeks now, so I can't really tell yet if it has any serious effects on the tank, but yeah, I'm curious to see what it does. I've decided to tone a little bit down on the bio pellets. I'm just going to let them run out. They become smaller every time, over time, so eventually they will run out. To see how the tank runs without the bio pellets eventually, so it's very gradually decreasing. Then again, the pumps are still there. I'm planning on replacing them with other pumps sometime, but no hurry for that. These are Jecods, Jibaos, and they're doing just fine. So that's an overview of the sump. As you can see, still using the UVC by JBL, and other than that, there's no equipment there. So back to the tank. Like I mentioned in my previous Focus Friday video, it was a video doing covering the blue LEDs, so the image was very blue, and now you're seeing it in broad daylight again. The lights have gone on about 2.5 hours ago, so everything is opening up nicely. Not everything is fully extended yet, but it's coming. So one of the new pieces in my tank, which you might have already noticed, is this. I think it's called a Devil's Hand Softie. It's imported from Fiji. That's why it has a slightly yellowish, pinkish color. And I've been told that if I put it up really high, that the color will get even more intense. So I'm very curious about that. I'm going to move it somewhat more to the right, as there's quite a lot of space there. But I ran out of glue, so I have to buy some new glue first tomorrow. Other than that, I've moved the Ophelia somewhat closer together, so the clownfish can enjoy each other's presence, which they don't particularly enjoy. But at least now they're somewhat closer together, and they can learn to get along. Eventually, I hope they will. don't know if you have had it before, but my previous clownfish always just hung out together, and these two are, well, they're tolerating each other, but they're not really into each other yet, so might come over time. So the fish are still growing, as you can see. One of the reasons that I'm considering of upgrading my tank, I think early next year, maybe end of this year, because especially for the butterfly fish, it's a fish that I've had since November 2014, so it's been in my tank for over 3.5 years, and that would be a shame if I had to get rid of it because it got so big. I do hope that it doesn't get a lot bigger. I haven't seen them this big actually. Maybe in a zoo, I can't remember, but well, at least it's doing fine in my tank. Also, the spotted drum is also maturing. As you can see, it has a lot more spots than it used to have in my previous videos. The dorsal fin is also growing, or actually getting a lot shorter, so it's not as wavy anymore. That's part of the fish maturing. It's still a very nice fish, although it's very hungry. When I feed it, well, when I feed the tank, it always eats until the last very bit is skimmed from the surface. It's a very hungry fish, which is fine. I do tend to feed a lot, so not a problem. And the fox face, the ever-growing fox faces. It's my third one already, and every time I add a very small one, they just grow double its size in about 3 to 4, maybe 5 months, half a year. So curious how long this one will refrain from eating corals. I haven't seen it nipping at corals yet, but with my previous two, eventually they will develop a taste for corals. So I hope this one doesn't, and if it does, then, well, has to go to a fish-only tank, at least a bigger tank, since it's also growing quite large. The yellow gorgonian, beautiful as ever, still one of the prime pieces in my tank. Very beautiful color during the day. It's not fluorescent during the night, so blue LEDs won't affect it, but during the day it's really stunning. Also the zoanthus garden with these purple monsters. Lord of the Rings, another kind of fancy name, zoanthus. Of course the Gonioporas, which I really like them being together. And of course the larger Goniopora, of which one I moved. This one, I moved somewhat to the bottom. It was taking up a big spot over here, where there's a new Lobophilia, by the way. I really like the color. It's a bit mint greenish, but it was taking over this entire spot, and you couldn't even spot this Saint something Rhodactis, Saint Thomas, I think. And there's this gorgonian, which you might oversee at first, but it's a really nice purple gorgonian, which is actually photosynthetic. So it's it lives on light, which is very convenient since most gorgonians feed mainly on phytoplankton and such. But this one also likes light a lot. Then there's the very small emerald crab that has taken a liking to the Stylophora. You can see it hanging underneath it, which it basically does all day, and filtering food all day. You can see it nicely right now. It's using its claws with little weaves attached that take the food. And then there's this one, this majestic Salarias, which is always there lurking on the reef. So we're already approaching the 10-minute mark, which is the limit for my videos. So that was the July update. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a nice day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.